Hi everyone, Angus Campbell here, Thursday the 22nd of August 2024. Hot on the heels of the work earlier in the week. Back on the Bonnie to keep the momentum going, as we'd really like to finish this off and get it off the bench for other matters, mentioning no names. Right, I'm going to concentrate on this one with the wiring. I want to get that, break the back of that, but we're well on the way. So I'm going to change what I need to on here with bullets. It's mainly these two, well, all these multi-connectors basically, because a lot of them go, not all of them, but a lot of them go into the handlebar switches, which are already bullets. Now then, this is left hand side, which is all ready to go as bought, which is good. The Sparks one, which the switches aren't great quality, but they're working. On the other side, we bought a new reservoir and lever for this because the other one was dreadful, and I've had to transfer over the switch part of it. This has to contain, as you can see there, the front brake light switch, and getting that out of the old one, it was just seized in solid, so I had to drill it out. And I thought, my God, where on earth am I going to get that tiny little screw? And damn me, in my electrics box, there was one in there. So that was a bit lucky. Obviously this is I don't know if it's a reproduction part. The hole wasn't quite in the right place, but a little careful drilling and she's in. So that's good. And again, well, at the other end, this has been butchered a bit. So maybe this did have the multi-connector on it. These aren't original, but they've been put on, and there was tape all over the place. So I've taken the tape off, and you can see the crimp on bullets. Well, we're going to get rid of those. There's one thing I detest, it's crimped connections. We're going to solder all the way. Now the other thing I've been preparing as well are the rear indicators. And again, we've come up with problems, but we can correct them. So the first one is this one, which has that incorrect wire running all the way through, and I found that inside somebody had put a bullet onto the original wire. So what we're going to do with that is, luckily I've got some spares about, and I've got a body with the correct internals and a wire, so we'll take the requisite bits out of that. Also, it broken and cracked, and I wondered why the screws were loose on the lenses, and that's the reason why. The other one, you can see on that one, I think that wire's been rubbing on the tyre. They've tried to repair it a bit by just putting insulation tape around it. But in any event, this one's cracked and broken as well, and the lens was loose on that. So we'll change the body on that one as well. So between all this lot on the bench there, we'll end up with two good indicators. So I'll probably get on with that first, simply because I'm not putting off the soldering on the harness. We've got to let the soldering iron warm up, of course. There we go, that's better. So basically we just replace the bodies, put the original stems in, and replace the internals with the correct in one piece wires. The only thing to note is that one of these bodies is an earlier type, and it doesn't have flats in the hole at this end to mesh against flats in the stem. So therefore, I've done it up tight, but it's going to have a propensity possibly to droop. So if that's the case, you're going to have to go back in there and maybe do a bit of a an araldite repair to make it stay where it is. But anyway, got two good ones there. All the lenses are good. The two bodies though, bin. We'll keep that. Bin. Okay, I'll put the lenses on those and get those fitted. Oh, and just before I fit them, just another observation. Two of the lens screws are too long. And that's why they've tried to force them in and broken the threads on the body. You'll just explode the opposite side when you try and screw these in too far. The plastic will just give way, boom. So that's what's happened. Right, these all ready to go. I've got one mounting nut sorted out that I've pinched from another stem, but I need to find another one and a shake proof to mount these up. Right, before I get butchering, here's another observation for you. So again, relating to these connectors. So as Rick has said, on later models, these are probably correct. But before I started butchering, again, going back to the handlebar switch connectors that they've got, which are the original bullets, I dug out the old one that we've replaced. And, you know, consistent with the other butchery on the wiring harness, this isn't an original switch. So what they've done is, with some sort of Honda bullets or something like that, they've spliced in the original connectors, so it did have these. Now, unfortunately, I could use these, I suppose, but I'd still then have to connect these wires up somehow to those, because if I chopped off those bullets, which it isn't focusing on, I don't have the pins to put on there to go into come on, focus, into these connectors. So I'm still gonna have to end up with some butchery. So and if you like, another connection in the same wire. So why bother when I can just have one connection anyway? Sorry, I'm just thinking about this. I mean, it seems a bit of a shame. The other thing I found though as well, which has swayed it really, is that on this side, which is the female side, you can see we've got, it's indicators plus horn. Greens are all indicators plus the horn, and then you've got a white, which is usually a live wire. You can see there. Well, I don't have a white on this side of the one that I've taken off, but I do have a white on the one putting on, so that's correct. So I'm not quite sure how this got power, really. And obviously we won't get any clues from the original wiring colours, because this is off something else, so you know those colours are all spurious. So yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to chop those off and put bullets on, and we've got all the connectors, and that'll be a direct match to that. The other one, this is for high and low beam. The blues are always to do with the main headlight bulb, and we've got the exact requisite number there, so that's going to be easy. So let's get on with that first. Get the soldering iron on and get on with it. Oh, just to let you know, so I've got to polish them up yet because they're all a bit messy. But what is up with this camera today? There we go. Rear indicators on at last, and really nice and secure. Okay, I own up. The lock nuts are not original, but they're the right thread and they fit very well, and we've just got one beautiful full nut and it's flush. So they're on, and they'll stay on apologies for any purists that are worse than me. Right, back up here, solder on, get on with it. Well, not much to see really, but all done. All the bullets on. So all this lot is for this lot here, i.e. left-hand handlebar switch, and this gaggle here is for the right-hand handlebar switch, where we've got the engine, run, kill, and the front brake light switch. And I've also done this one down here. These are just for indicators, going off to the right and left indicators. The this wiring diagram isn't that helpful really, because it's wrong. Not quite got all the clusters right on the handlebar end, but we can work it out anyway. Now all these others that are left, that's ignition switch, I think. I'm pretty sure it is. And this lot here are for the main light switch. And then these here, that gaggle there, go to the headlight. So I think we've worked it all out. So we're going to grab a cup of tea, and then we'll come back and doing some connecting. Now a lot of people struggle with getting the bullets in properly in these, but I have got the correct tool. I need to. It's in the van. I'll go and need to dig it out, and we'll plug them all together. If you're wondering how I do these, you can look back at previous videos on the Fury, etc. That I've done, whereby you strip the wire and then tin it with solder first, put the bullet on, and then press the bullet down onto the solder with a soldering iron with solder on its tip, and then you end up with, if it'll focus, finger. It's not focusing very well, but a fairly clean end like that one, with the wire tip is actually at the end there. So I'll push it down over the insulation, so you can see, for instance, on that one there, how it's pushed down on the insulation. It's rolled the insulation over a bit, but that's okay, no problem with that, just with the heat, and that seems to work really well. I do go around checking them as well, just give them a good tug and that to make sure they're well on. The other thing I've done actually while I'm here is the right hand handlebar switch cluster. These were the ones with the crimped on incorrect bullets, so I've replaced all those. Right, cup of tea, come back, do some connecting, and then we'll be well on the way. Boom. Looks complicated, but isn't too bad really. Once you've got the right connectors in, it's a case most of the time of just marrying up the same colour wires. There's a few anomalies, but I've worked most of it out. So these two are earths here. One goes to that, if you like, copper connector in there. It's a special sort of fat bullet that goes in there, and I haven't got any actually to sort of clamp it in, but we could solder it. And the other one goes as a similar earth onto the main headlight bulb holder. And then this, we need to build up some connectors to go from that back out to the headlight into the ignition switch. And other than that, then I've got a few loose connectors at the back here, and that's just, I've got to figure out the wiring for the 2-position light switch at the top. First position is side light only, second position is headlight. I know what each of these wires do. It's a case of getting them on the right position on the switch. So for instance, that browny whitey one is live in. This blue and yellow one is out to the main headlight, and the other one, which is I think brown, is it brown and white? So this is to the side lights and the rear light. So we know what they are. We'll we'll have to have a play around with continuity on that switch. Might even have to take it out. But there we are. That's basically the front end done. These two on the top here need some balls for those, but we're just going to pop those into the speedo and the rev counter. These cables are too long, really, but we'll strap them up and we'll put as much inside as the headlight as we can. I was a bit worried initially that with all the wires coming out the headlight there that we wouldn't get them all back in, but I think there's going to be enough room in there. It's quite a deep headlight. I have remembered to put the grommets on these cables, so we've got to fit those as well, but we won't do that yet until we've finished off the wiring in here. But it does mean now that we've got all the handlebar switches on and in position, so we're beginning to get there. Now then, for the rear end, there's a bit of work to do here, but not as much. So this is rectifier. So we've got one pair of coils there, which is yellow and black, and one pair of coils here on the other side, which is white and black. But as I say, these wires are too short, so we've just got to lengthen them. I might just have to splice a bit in. I don't really like doing that, but we'll solder one in anyway. That, I believe, is live to the coils. This is flasher unit, and somewhere, he says hopefully, somewhere there should be, there we are. Is that them there? No. Somewhere there should be a gaggle of wires for the rear light. Ah, there they are. There they are. So you've got earth, brown is the feed in, and then you've got brown, Doesn't appear to be enough wires there for me. Where's we seem to have one indicator wire missing. So indicators are green and white and green and red. So we've got green and red there. That's for the rear light and for the brake light, and that's earth. All right, I'll have to do a bit of continuity testing on that too. Right, just found the other wire. It's separate, so it can be routed around the opposite side of the frame for the indicator. So that makes sense. And I think the way that they do it is in that hole and in that hole and connected underneath, which is fine. With respect to the rear light main wires, other than the indicator, then we need a separate extension lead, which we've already got. I think this is its original. The ends need cleaning up, as you can see. They look a bit rough, but we'll clean that up anyway and check the continuity on it, put another bullet on that end. But that's our extension then for the earth and for the rear light and rear brake light. Okay, right, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back and we'll crack on doing a bit of modifications and finalising, and we're just about there then. Right, sometime later in the evening on the same day. So just done another session on it. So what I've done is I've got the earth wires in with actual bullets actually, and they're in nice and tight. The next thing that we had to do was around the back end. So got the rear sort of sub loom in and connected up to the rear light. For some reason on this side the indicator wire on the main loom was much shorter than the one on the other side, so I had to splice in a little extension and make that up. I've made up the extensions on the coil leads, and what I did there was I just basically solder spliced in an extension with a good proper soldered spade on the end, and then I put some shrink wrap around it. Same with the other one, and that's turned out really neat. So now they'll actually reach, so that's good. And what I've also done is I've made up 3 leads to go from the terminals inside the headlight for the ignition switch, these 3, to go back out again through the shell and onto the back of the ignition switch just there. I will retain these spades here because I've got females that can go into those, although I haven't dug the females out yet. So I've just made up the 3 leads, sorry, males. What I'm talking about, these are females. So I've got the males to go into these, so we'll retain those. So with the 3 little extension leads I've made up, I've just got the females on each end that go to onto the ignition switch, and I'll put the males on the other end. I haven't dug them out yet. And I think that's about it for now. So I've been using up quite a lot of stock of bullets and spades and God knows what. This is the most invaluable tool ever. I saw these in use when I toured around the Meriden factory all those years ago, and for pushing in bullets from each end into the connectors, it's absolutely invaluable. You get a super connection. And the other invaluable thing is having a stash of old loom wires that you can butcher and make these little extension leads up, because you have to do that all the time. I remember doing it with the Fury, not so much with the Lightning, but you've just got to have the ability to be able to make those up at will. So the old soldering iron's been busy. So we're just about there. The other last thing, and I'm tired now so I shan't make it up tonight, is we've got to do possibly this extension lead. Yeah, here we are. We're not sure yet, but we might need an extension lead for the rear brake light switch, which sits there on those 2 holes there. Here it is. So we've got that to mount up yet, with 2 little screws that I'm not sure I've got. But yeah, just thinking about it yesterday when we were looking at this, and now we've rerouted the harness properly. If we can get this to go down there far enough, we might just have a fighting chance of it reaching. Oh, that's right, we were under here, weren't we, searching about, trying to find them. So tomorrow I'll have another route around with that. That might actually reach, so we might just about be there. So all the cables are routed properly at the back. I'm not sure whether these are supposed to have some sort of little grommet around them or not, but I haven't got them. But anyway, go on the inside of the mudguard. There's a couple of sort of tabs on the mudguard on each side, behind which the wiring can go on each side to keep it well away from the tyre. Where are we? Yeah, there's one on the other side of the wire going through it. I haven't pulled it tight enough yet. And in fact, I've got to pull that. Oh, I haven't threaded it through either, have I? Let it go behind there. No, I've missed that one. Look, god damn it. I might have to unthread that. Damn it, I thought I'd got that. Okay, well, I'm glad I checked. Right, I'm rambling on. Let's leave it there. Wiring done for now. Oh, the other quick thing that I did, I just needed a break at one point from soldering, was I've loosely mounted up the right-hand silencer now on its bracket with the rear footrest, and it should sit at that angle because it's pegged to stop it rotating. So that's fine. And what I had to do to get the angles right on that for the mounted bracket to go into the hole without trying to strain everything, was I did have to move the lug on the pipe to the other side of this bracket, so that effectively tilted the rear end up slightly and this end up slightly, so this would fit more snugly without any force, and that's worked out well. So quick look from a distance. You know, ignore all the rubbish on the bench. Tomorrow we'll tidy that up, but just looking at the angle of that silencer, I think that looks pretty good. Right, there we go. We'll leave it there. Thanks very much for watching, everybody. Thanks for your interest and any comments and subscriptions. We'll call it there, and I'll see you all again soon when I'll plough on, and that'll be tomorrow.